City Ordinance, Chapter 19, Section 10. It shall be unlawful for any person, firm, or corporation to keep bees within the city limits without a written or printed permit or license signed by the city manager and chief of police. This is a little something that was left at my house today by none other than the chief of police of our city. All my planning for the past 5 years of trying to keep bees is in serious jeopardy. Welcome back to the Citystead, everyone. I am Josh. If you are new to the channel, let me give you a little bit of history about beekeeping and my want to do it. When I first got into homesteading, following the YouTube channels and all that good stuff, beekeeping is a thing that really kind of struck me as, oh, that looks so cool and fascinating, and I really wanted to get into it. But I was definitely not in a position then, 5 years ago, to do anything like that. We were still kind of beginner gardeners then. We were still kind of plowing a little patch in our backyard here every single year. And me and E, if you're watching some of the vlogs, you're familiar, my daughter, she was just wee tall at the time. And she would be out here helping me, and that was before we even had the other 2 kids. Yeah, but beekeeping has been in my plan for 5 years now. And this is finally the year that we were able to pull the trigger and start a beehive on our property.
I don't want your service. I don't want those messages again. I want to be your friend. I want to be your friend.
That was what I did. Now it is a little bit rainy tonight, but let me take you into this apiary right here. This is the spot that I created, specifically designed this area 5 years ago. I started the plans on building out this whole garden, and this was always planned to be the apiary. I had put a lot of thought into it, where I was going to put it, placings, greenhouse, garage, a little bit of space, you know, backdrop fence trees, all that good stuff. I really thought about this for the past 5 years about building my apiary the way it is right now today. So the plans for the apiary, they really did start 5 years ago. The day I was working on this greenhouse, building some of the raised beds, I had always been thinking about how am I going to do it, how am I going to put them in a good place, and that always was to me the most logical place to put them. It was in the back corner kind of the property. I could fence it off so that the kids wouldn't be running, you know, in there, knocking them over or anything like that. It would have a fence between me and my neighbors. Very thought out process. It wasn't just like I threw them in there and let them go, you know. Like, I had really thought about how I was going to do this and make it work for pretty much everyone around me.
You made me shiver, you made me calm, you made me young when you donned your swollen arms around a community of tiny beats of pain and beauty. I'll take Queen Anne's lace. I'll take chicory full in the face, and I'll call you all my friends, and I'll call you all my friends.
So after all this planning that I did, 5 years of planning out the project of how I was going to build my whole garden area with a greenhouse, with an apiary, it is now to the point where it is in a little bit of jeopardy. So when people say if you want to keep bees, you should really look up your city ordinances and all that. Yeah, this is where it becomes a really important thing that I should have maybe done a little bit better. I tried to look it up and I didn't really see anything about beekeeping specifically. And then when the officer showed up and he actually printed out the little code section for us, I went back and I looked it up, and it's actually in a really weird spot. So our beekeeping stuff is actually in the chapter called Offenses Against Public Peace, Safety, and Morals. So you can understand how that could be a little bit tricky to find if you don't know what section to look in, really, I guess. And I didn't look through all of them. I kind of looked for animals and livestock when I was looking through it. That's what I was looking for, because that's what I considered them. I would never consider them to be public peace, safety, or morals.
You made me shiver, you made me calm, you made me young when you donned your swollen arms, and the honeybees, the tiny beats of pain and beauty.
So yeah, if you guys are thinking about keeping bees, make sure you check your city ordinances, and if you don't see it, maybe keep searching, or maybe call somebody. That's probably what I should have done. So I now have to get the city manager and chief of police to okay the location of the bees and how we have it set up. So you guys might be wondering, well, why did the chief of police show up to tell you about this, Josh? And well, guys, that is another story for another video. Stay tuned, because there is more to this saga. But for now, remember to be bold and grow bold, and check your city ordinances before you do stuff. Alright guys, I will see you in the next video, and we will talk more about all of the situation. See ya! I don't know if we'll see it, but there were a couple up here that had pollen. They're still bringing in. So I know they're really busy.
Pain and beauty, my friend. Pain and beauty, my friend.